Hey everyone, back for another installment talking about note naming and also enharmonic spelling. And that's where you name the same note in different ways. So what you see on your screen are all of the notes you have available to you in Western music using our tuning system. And I've talked about the natural notes and then also the accidentals or the sharps and the flats, and how notes can be named different things. So in between most of the natural notes, you have an extra note, which we identify typically as either a sharp or a flat. Sharp means the note gets higher, flat means it gets lower. So over by the C, you have in the transition from C to D, you have this note C sharp or D flat if you're going the other way. And then in between D and E, you've got D sharp or E flat. In between E and F, there is no sharp or flat, and the same thing happens over between B and C. It's just the way we tune our instruments. And then in between F and G, F sharp or G flat, G to A, G sharp or A flat. And then finally A to B, A sharp or B flat, okay? And so depending on whether the note's going up or the note's coming down, you're gonna call it either a sharp or a flat, but they are in fact the same thing. So D sharp, E flat, it's the same note. F sharp, G flat, it is the same note. Now, you can carry this even further, in which you can have these things called double sharps or double flats. And the X and the two lowercase b's, that's how they're notated in traditional music notation. It's the same idea. And so if you're on the note C, let me get some different color here. If you're on the note C and you move up to the next closest note, you would land on C sharp or D flat. And then if you move up to the next closest note, you land on D, or you can also call it C double sharp, okay? And you can go the other way. If you're on the note D and you go down to the next closest note, you'd land on D flat. And then if you go a step further, you could land on D double flat or enharmonically C, okay? And so you might be thinking, why would you go to the trouble of doing this? This has to do with the way you spell chords and other note combinations, and I'll get more into that in another video, but you can see this can get a little bit convoluted. I should also point out that even though there is no note between E and F and also in between B and C, there is still such a thing as F flat or E sharp or B sharp or C flat, okay? And they would be enharmonically equivalent to the natural notes. So the enharmonic equivalent to F flat is just the note E. E sharp is enharmonically equivalent to F. B sharp is enharmonically equivalent to C. And C flat is enharmonically equivalent to B, okay? And the same thing applies for the double sharps and double flats. I'll just do a few without writing anything. F double sharp is enharmonically equivalent to G. A double flat is also enharmonically equivalent to G. And you can really get in the weeds with this stuff. F double flat would be enharmonically equivalent to D sharp, right? C double flat would be enharmonically equivalent to A sharp. And you could even theoretically, you can even get into, I guess, triple sharps and triple flats. There's probably no point in doing that, and it would just be an academic exercise at that point. But it could exist theoretically. So I hope that makes sense. Double sharps, double flats, and harmonic spelling. Please feel free to leave me a comment, and I'll see you next time.